and welcome to my Gadget Show first look review of two eagerly awaited brand new OnePlus phones, the 8 and the 8 Pro. Now, traditionally, OnePlus has appealed to those who want a fast, flagship, premium, top-of-the-range performing phone, but at a relatively cheap price. It's how the company's built its reputation over the last 6 years or so, particularly, they tell me, amongst younger users. You certainly get a sense of club, even in the packaging. It's all very not Apple minimalist white. There are stickers and there's a note from one of the company's founders welcoming you to the community. There's no headset included, though there is a brightly coloured charging cable and a fast 30-watt charger. These new phones are certainly fast. They both have the latest Snapdragon 865 chips. They've got up to 256 gigabytes of internal storage, complemented by up to 12 gigabytes of RAM. And that's super fast LPDDR5 in the case of the Pro. I've not seen higher Geekbench scores from any Android phone, and particularly in the case of the standard 8 model, which presumably has less work to do because it has a smaller and less high-resolution screen. The latest iPhones, though, are still faster. Naturally, they're both 5G with bright, high-quality screens with very good colour reproduction. They've also got high refresh rates, 90 Hz on the 8, 120 Hz on the Pro. So particularly on that you get very smooth scrolling and transitions. My one screen gripe really is that they've gone too edge-to-edge on the Pro, and you actually have to physically turn the whole phone round to see the scrolling bar at the edge of web pages, which is a bit inconvenient. And continuing the theme of speed, there's fast charging, both wired and wireless. Although you have to pay extra for the wireless charge. That also on the Pro model gives you 30-watt wireless charging. On both phones you should be able to get a 50% charge in a little over 20 minutes, which is pretty good. I've tried it out and you do actually get more or less that. There are plenty of other positives as well. Both phones are relatively light and the Pro is IP68 waterproof. So it's OnePlus business as usual with these phones then. Tremendously fast, plenty of technological cutting-edge stuff, and all at a very competitive price, one presumes. Well, largely yes. I mean, the price has gone up a bit, but not outrageously so. It's £599 for the cheapest 8 with 128 gigabytes of storage, rising to £899 for the 256 gigabyte Pro. And not everything is premium and flagship about these phones, starting most obviously with the cameras. On the 8 there are 3 cameras, a 14mm equivalent 16 megapixel super wide and a 48 megapixel standard wide, both of which I found could give rather disappointing pictures with a slightly odd colour balance at times. The third camera is a dedicated 2 megapixel macro unit, which could be a really excellent idea. Unfortunately, it doesn't work very well. I found I could get better macro shots using the main camera. The results with the dedicated one were often, frankly, unpleasant. On the Pro you get a more ambitious setup with 4 cameras on the back, and on the whole they give much better results. There's a 48 megapixel super wide, there's a 48 megapixel main camera which has a higher quality sensor than the one you get in the ordinary 8, and there's also a 3 times optical zoom with its own 8 megapixel sensor. That gives good results, although the top camera phones these days are starting to get 5 times optical zooms and higher resolution sensors to go with them. So it's not quite sort of premium top flight there. There's also a really rather novel 4th camera which they call a colour filter camera for effects. The results look like the ones you get from an infrared camera, actually, with slightly differently coloured highlights and lowlights. I actually really enjoyed the effects. I'm not quite sure I might not tire of them quite soon, but overall I don't think it's quite good enough to make up for some of the other shortcomings in the camera, even on the Pro. Another area I'd like to see them improve is the actual level of support they give for operating system and security updates. They're proposing to give you 2 years of operating system updates and an extra year of security. That's not bad for the world of Android, but others are offering more, and Apple in particular obviously offers at least 5 years of support on its new phones. I'd like to see OnePlus stepping that up a bit. I think overall, if absolute top camera performance isn't a priority for you, these are still good value and very desirable phones. That original OnePlus promise of excellent performance at a competitive price is still very much intact.